Hello everyone, I'm Cole from the Kingdom, and I've been playing the Veilguard for the past, I'm about 4 hours into the game. And so I have some stuff to talk about. So what I'm going to do is just a series of, I guess these are like vlogs, and I'm going to compile them all into one video once I have completed the game. So there are going to be spoilers, but I will warn you if I'm going to talk about anything too major, and I will tell you what part of the story it comes in, so you'll know, like, how far into the game I'm talking about. So right now I'm about 4 hours in. I just went back to Solas's ritual site and got back to the lighthouse. So, lots of things are happening. First, I guess let's talk about the game itself before we can talk about the story. So, I like the graphics. I think they're really good. I know that was a big thing that people were worried about or complaining about. I have absolutely no issue with them. I think they look great. And you know what? I like... Are they like photorealistic? No, and that's okay. I like stylish graphics. Not necessarily stylized, depending on how you want to use the term. But I like when a game has its own, like, identity. And it seems like that's what Veilguard kind of has. It's not... And, like, I wouldn't necessarily want it to be photorealistic, so, you know, but... as far as I'm concerned, it looks the way I think it probably should look. As for the gameplay, I'm having fun with it. I wish... Again, this is a more linear game. They said that a little while ago. And I do wish I had some more freedom in how I tackled, you know, engaging in combat. But as for, you know, fighting itself, it's fine, it's good, it's serviceable. I mean, I've never liked the combat in Dragon Age anyway. So this, I don't know, it's fun, it's satisfying. That's all I need. You might feel differently, and that's fine. But for me, it's not a problem. So, story, let's see. There's a lot going on. Solas, I like that Solas is, you know, still an arrogant dickhead. That's good. Choices that, you know, didn't get imported over. I am sad about a lot of that. I wish there was more. One in particular that has come up that I like. Okay, all right. So we know, if you've seen the trailers, you know Morrigan is in the game, and you should also know we don't have the option to choose whether or not she drank from the Well of Sorrows, and I feel like that might be I feel like that probably should have been included as an option, and we should have some different dialogue based on that. So yeah, I don't know what how they're going to write around that in her future scenes. I only seen the one right now. Harding got her magic powers, and that was weird. I mean, I knew that was coming, but right away she started giving this Titan monologue, and I was confused as to why it was in the common language instead of ancient Dwarven, especially when they used the word Isatanol. But, you know, that's a minor thing. Yeah, I'm curious to see where that goes. Right now I don't have an opinion on it, whether it's good or bad. I'm just curious. Harding is going to be my romance option. That's... Come on, how could she not be my first romance? In future playthroughs, I'll probably do Nev, and I mean, not do Nev, I mean, okay, alright, that's embarrassing. I didn't mean it like that. I will do the Nev romance, and I'll probably get to everyone at some point, but right now I'm sticking with Harding. I spent too long talking about this. I'm already 4 minutes in. Okay, wow. So yeah, I keep waiting for the game to open up a little more, and give me some more freedom about where to go and what to do next. Again, I only have Balara right now. I don't have any of the others. I'm hoping I get to see more of Minrathous, and I know we'll see more of the Grey Wardens. I know there's a lot of content packed into this game. I know that. I'm just waiting for a little bit more freedom in what I do, because I've noticed some of the areas I've gone to, like right after meeting the Veil Jumpers and before going to the first town. Or not town, but like all right, so there's a town that is overrun with the Blight. Before going there, you get a little small area with some forks in the path that you can't go down yet. There's a white barrier that says it's locked. And I've seen that before in other games, that sort of thing, where they're like, come back to this area later to explore. And I'm like, no, I want to explore it now. I'm here now. I don't want to keep track of where I've been. It just becomes a mess. And so I'm not a fan of that, but it is what it is. I'm excited to see the rest of the game. How am I 5.5 minutes into talking about this? Any complaints I have are very minor, like, Rook didn't introduce himself to the Veil Jumpers, but they still somehow knew he was called Rook. Solus didn't explain which of the two gods were released, but we somehow knew it was Gillenon and Elgranon. And that was... I assume it depended on the dialogue choices, like if I had chosen a different option he would have said that, but since I didn't pick whatever option that would have been, it just seems like it came out of nowhere. It's not a super huge deal. It's very, very minor. I'm liking a lot of the notes we're finding, the codex entries. That's all good. It still feels like Dragon Age to me. And what else? Okay, so they've redesigned the demons and the Darkspawn. I don't care for the new Darkspawn design. I definitely like all of the other ones better. Origins 2 and Inquisition, I like all of them better than what we have now, but it kind of makes sense, I guess, now that the Elven Gods are involved. And then there's the demons, and again, demons just take on whatever form, whatever. That's like, they're canonically not set in stone, so that doesn't bother me as much. Yeah, alright, so that's where I'm going to end this. I'm 7 minutes... Oh my god. This better not be a long video. I hope my future vlogs are much shorter than this. So... yeah, again, I'm 4 hours in. I'll update you in a little while. Okay, so this is going to be a much shorter one than the last one. So I've just been talking to the companions before heading out to, I guess, talk to the other factions. So it does seem like the game's about to open up, like I was hoping. I'm liking most of the conversations we've been having, just, Rook and the companions, particularly Varric. I like how he's really grown wise in his old age, and it's amazing that we got to go on this journey with him. We saw him in DA2, and then Inquisition, and now here. It's just, it makes me happy. And so, a question I just realized, the lighthouse is in the Fade. What happens if you go to sleep in the Fade? Do you, would it be like astral projection, or... I don't know. So, alright, I'm gonna get back to it. Just wanted to say that. Okay, so I just did what I assume is the first quest for the Shadow Dragons. My character is also a Shadow Dragon. So I like all the unique dialogue that I got. Just a couple of more things I want to get out here. I'm not going to make an update for every mission, or else this video I'm putting together is going to be, way too long. But just a couple of things. Yeah, no, I get the combat. Yeah, a lot of the fights are starting to feel like, yeah, flip around and hit stuff and try not to die. It's mostly just knowing when to dodge. It's much more hack and slash than... Well, I mean, I like hack and slashes. It's just it's not what I expected. And this is coming from someone who's never liked the the combat in Dragon Age. Okay, so I guess what I was looking for was something a little more finesse. I kept thinking, okay, if they could somehow merge the gameplay of Veilguard and Inquisition together, I think that's closer to what I want. It's not exactly what I want, but you know what? What's even the point? You know what? It's fun enough. Again, it's never... Dragon Age has never been about the combat for me. As for the story, I'm liking it. I like what they're doing with Venatori. I'm excited to see what more they do with it. They are bringing back a lot of characters from the books, like Strife and Irulan, and Rana the Templar in Minrathous. And so I like that. I like that they're using the tie-in media and really making this world feel more alive and like rewarding people for engaging with the extended media, but at the same time not like making that required reading. I think that's the way to do it. I really admire that part. 2 minutes. Yeah, this video is going to be like 45 minutes long, isn't it? I'm sorry. See, this is what happens when I don't have a script. This is why my videos kind of take a while to make, is because I got to get the script right. And if I try to freestyle it, I just go off. All right. So there are some other things, just some ideas. I'm wondering if they're going to bring back, there was a demon beneath Minrathous in one of the Tevinter Night stories that Nev helps stop. I wonder if they're going to bring that back at all, or the monster from Luck in the Gardens. What was the Lord of Fortune's name in Luck in the Gardens? Paulus? Something like that. I'm wondering if they're going to make an appearance. Anyway, yeah. So, seems like I still got a long way to go. I'm looking forward to it. I do hope the game isn't too long, because I don't know, I have mixed feelings about that. That should probably be its own video, like game design, length of single-player games or something. Anyway, I'm wondering if they're going to incorporate the old gods at all. You know, there's 2 left in the ancient, underground, so I wonder how they're going to relate to the elven gods. I wonder if we're going to get confirmation about how they're related. I still like my theory that they were ancient enemies, but who knows? It seems like the Titans are involved somehow, if the thing with Harding is anything to go by. I don't know what's going to happen there, but yeah, they're raising a lot of important points for me, and I'm excited to see where it's going to go. And yeah, all I can say is, like, I'm excited, I'm intrigued. This probably should have come out 5 years ago, but besides that, I'm liking it. Yeah. So, yeah, I feel like there's more stuff I'm forgetting. I like the art direction again. I want to correct something I said earlier, and that's when I talked about I like when certain games have their own style. That is not a universal truth, because I can think of some games that have their own unique style that I do not like. What I meant earlier was it's not categorically bad if it's not photorealistic. Sometimes it can be even better than photorealism. Sometimes not, sometimes yes. Who knows? It depends on the game, it depends on the story being told. It just, it affects the experience, and I'm liking the experience so far for the most part. A few minor complaints, like I said, but I will keep you updated, and I'm going to wait for another milestone, and I'm going to start writing down some topics that I need to cover in future vlogs, because, oh my god, this video is already getting long. Okay, thanks. I'll see you later. Hey, okay, so I'm a bit further in, and I got a lot of stuff to say, so I want to get this all out now before I go any further. So, the point of the game I'm at is I got Lucanus, so I did a bunch of stuff in Treviso. I just met with the first Grey Warden I've met, let's put it that way. And I think I'm about to go recruit Davrin. So, a lot of stuff. First of all, Salme Varys Talani, and here's the face I made when she first appeared. And here's the face I made when I saw our old friend Dorian. So, yeah, let's see. So, last night when I finished playing, I had some criticisms. Some things I wasn't particularly happy about, and one of the biggest things is, well, okay, alright, first let me talk about the combat. I've now turned the combat down to storyteller difficulty, just because I was just getting kind of tired of it. Honestly, it's not that surprising that this happened anyway. But like I was saying before, it's the combat's just never been my favorite part. So I figure I'm not gonna spend any more time with it than I have to. Okay, so the other big thing that's been bothering me are the lack of conversations, the lack of optional conversations. Obviously, you got a lot of quest-related conversations, um, but like you can't stop and chat with any of the townspeople. Like there are a handful. Like there's a character called Air at the Antivan Crow's main base that you can have a short chat with, but you don't get any dialogue options. Um, so it's just, I feel like that was a big thing that made Dragon Age so special, like especially in Origins. Thinking back on it, I don't think Dragon Age 2 had a lot of that. But Inquisition didn't have... Okay, no, Inquisition had a decent amount. It had a decent amount. But I'm finding that lacking, and I don't know, it's a little disappointing, I gotta say. It still feels like Dragon Age, don't get me wrong. But I just mentioned, hang on, I'm reading my notes. Pause. I don't know if I'm going to cut that out or not. I kind of like just doing this raw, unedited, you know? Okay, so, yeah, the side conversations, you can overhear some people chatting, and they're not as detailed as, like, they've been in the past. That's fine. I guess a lot of people probably don't care about that anyway. I do. There's one I really liked. It's a very one-sided conversation. There's a Kunari healer in Treviso chatting with who I assume is a merchant. But the merchant isn't saying anything. It's just the Kunari speaking in broken English, common, whatever. And that's just a really cool thing to see. And I hope there's more of that in the game, and more detailed too. So, yeah. The sequence in Treviso, when you first get there and you're going to find out about Lucanus, it was very weird. It was almost rushed. Like, all of a sudden you're in the thick of it, and then you go and do Lucanus's mission and whatever, and it kept feeling like either they wanted to do more or they had more planned, but they ran out of time to finish it somehow, or it was originally longer, but they cut out a lot of stuff to shorten it. Yeah, and a few of the interactions I've had in the game have felt too much like a game. And one of my favorite things about BioWare games in the past has been the fact that, for me, you kind of forget that it's a game at some point because you're so immersed in the world. But yeah, just kind of rushing you along things. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably do one more of these vlogs, and then I'll upload this as kind of a part 1, and then upload a part 2 later, because this has already gotten a lot longer than I expected. The last thing I want to mention real fast is about the Kunari. I have mixed feelings about what they've been doing with the Kunari. It sounds really interesting, but they put a lot of it in the Codex. And I'm like, okay, why did they do that? Like, of course I'm reading it, but I don't think most players read the Codex, or at least not to the extent that I do. And so it can leave a lot of people feeling confused. Like they need more dialogue, they need more interaction with the Kunari, and I assume we're going to get that. But honestly, that has me really interested, and it seems like the Kunari are very not a front and center threat the way I expected them to be. And there's a reason for that I'm not going to say right now, or they've hinted at a reason for that, but I don't know. They're just not as big as I thought they would be, and that's an interesting direction to go for the story. Not necessarily bad, but just not what I expected. Yeah, I'll probably do one more of of these vlogs before uh, wrapping up part one. So, yeah. Hey, okay, so this will be the last vlog for this part. I still haven't recruited Davrin because companions keep asking me to do stuff. This game is paced very strangely. Yeah, I'm not sure how to go into more detail about that. Um, just a few more things I wanted to mention. So I like the music. I especially like when there are musical cues or just pieces that harken back to previous games in the series. I think that's just a really, really good addition. Um, the Antom occupation in Antiva is odd. I don't understand how it works. Like, why is the Antom uh, occupying Antiva but not converting the populace and like allowing them to continue using, their normal trade and stuff like that? Uh, it's like I assume they're getting ready to do that, but haven't yet. I don't know. It's just I don't quite understand. Um, I like the atmosphere of the different places in the game. I think they did a good job with that, just with the lighting, the music, the ambient noise, all the citizens, or the environment art. The level design itself can be confusing, um, but the environment art is terrific. Um, I don't like that it's just like constantly raining in Minrathous, and how Treviso is always so dark. Um, but yeah, all in all, it's good. Um, I mentioned before I was wishing we had more dialogue. I've gotten to a point now in the game where we are getting more interactions between the different companions, and I like that. It makes it feel more like everyone is just like getting along and being friends while we're on this adventure. So that's good. I'm looking forward to more of that once I recruit the other companions. But like I said, that's taking a while because this game is paced very strangely. Um, the last thing I wanted to mention is I wish we had more Elven and Dalish commentary on the current situation. I mean, the truth about Solus and whatnot probably would have come out like 8 years ago in the universe. Um, but I wish we had more elves commenting on it. So yeah, that'll do that. That'll do it for this part one of my collection of vlogs as I go through the game. I'm hoping in the future these will be a little um, less chaotic. I just, there's a lot of gameplay stuff that I've been encountering and getting used to. And so that's why this video probably feels the way it does. But going forward, I hope to talk more about the story and characters. Uh, yeah. So, yeah, that'll do it for now. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.